Hey, what's up? It's your man's 14KT. It's January 19th, 2009, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I just wanted to share with y'all that Martin Luther King Jr. was a big influence on me and a huge inspiration in my life as a black person, as an artist, and as an individual with a voice, and as a Christian. Um, with all the achievements that he had, from all the awards that he received, the marches, to boycotts, to him becoming a civil rights leader at such a young age in the mid 20s, to graduating from Morehouse at a young age, just so many things that he achieved in his lifetime. Um, I think the most important thing that we should take from Dr. King's life, that I take from his life, is the fact that uh, he was part of the church, and he was a God-led spirit, and that was important in his whole purpose, because he followed his purpose. He followed the purpose that God gave him on this earth, and that purpose allowed him to get through all those marches. It sent him to jail. Um, it He even died for his purpose and got assassinated. His family was always getting threatened. And sometimes when we have a purpose on earth, we might not necessarily want to do it. And I think there was a lot of things that Dr. King didn't want to do, but he stood up for it because he knew that was his purpose in life. So he carried on with his purpose and what God wanted him to do. And um, God gave us a promise that if we carried on God's will and God's purpose in life, that God would give us everlasting life in return. And I think that we're seeing God's promise fulfilled. For all the people that don't believe in God, we're seeing God's promise fulfilled, because 40 plus years later, we're still celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's purpose and his life here on earth. That's continued to go on forever, I feel. And I'm very inspired by that, just being a God-led spirit and being a Christian myself. So I wrote several verses inspired by Martin Luther King, but I want to share with y'all one off a song called "The Promised Land" off of my crew, Athletic Mike League's album "Jungle Jim Jungle." I wrote this on Martin Luther King Day in 2004, 5 years ago. So I want to share that with y'all. It starts with a Bible verse that says, um, "For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith." 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. Verse 4. Verse 4. Speaking of verse 4, I speak of a verse for those known to translate invisible faith into physical faith. For those annually screaming, we shall overcome. A dream King addressed that many let demons weave neatly through the seams of. How can we say overcome when nigga is overused? How can we say overcome when tithing is overdue? How can we say overcome when BET uncut over rules and crime is over news broadcast? The system is right. We will never learn. Where ignorance equaled the lawns, crosses were being burned vehemently from innocent trees guilty of lynching me, moving into the 21st century. KT stands up while them cats lie in front of TV stands mumbling, "I want to go to the promised land." We need to step up our game, y'all, this year, man. Let's do it. Let's go, y'all.